And we're back. Wow. Event 4. Event 5.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be sexy to be really, really fun to watch.
Yeah,
and
that was crazy.
That's about as fun of a race as you can ask for.
First impressions, absolutely crazy event finished by Gracie Walton. Demolished the female field.
Yeah, that was
Not
really,
even
really
close.
impressive. Yeah.
Annihilated them. How insane. I mean, when we first saw it, we're like, wow, sub 3 would be a crazy good time for the guys, and she was 3:03. That was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, going into it, like we talked about who we expected to do really well, I just don't know enough about the athletes, obviously, because
Right.
I never knew that she was that good at power output. And I
Yeah.
think that's
Nuts.
crazy because she's so young too.
Yep.
And typically, power comes with a little bit more age, a little bit more knowledge of pacing. But like it looked like she did exactly what you said. She just said, I'm going to go
Hammer.
as hard as I can go from the beginning and just know that the cushion I have is going to be enough. And you mentioned it watching it. Her last 11 burpees were not fast.
Yeah, that's the only sign she showed. It looked like she was moving through peanut butter on the last 11 burpees. But prior to that, absolutely fucking smashing the bike. Crazy.
True.
We need a leaderboard. We need a female leaderboard.
Yep. So we got one more event today, and then we'll have one more event, I think, before the first cut, which, as far as we know, is still Chad, even though it was not on the schedule on the list of events this morning. Tonight, we got 1 mile run into basically a sandbag sprint plus carry.
Yep.
All right. We got the leaderboard up. Tia's still in first, 282 points. The gap really isn't very big. I mean, she's human, 7th on that. Very rare do we see a finish even, outside the top 5.
Right.
Emily Rolfe, I mean, geez, super solid. 3rd, 6th, and 5th.
She'll have 2 great event finishes on the 6th.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to be in a great position. And for her going into the events that we know, which is like, I think of the clean ladder, she needs to have as big of a cushion as possible if she's someone who's going to be sticking around for the weekend and like with a outside podium shot. Bethany Flores was really impressive on that. Her pacing was awesome. She took a 2nd. Haley, 3 top 10 still. Gabby still in the top 5. And Grace took a big jump with that first place finish.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Where do you think, how about Amy Kringle, top 10?
She's been really impressive so far. I don't know enough about her as an athlete to say where I think she's going to take a hit. I mean, that'll be something that John will probably give you insight on. I know he's the guy to talk to when it comes to specific athlete performances, strengths and weaknesses, stuff like that. But she's been really impressive. I mean, I knew that she was a good runner going in. So I think she does really well on this next one too. For those of you that don't know what the next event is,
can we pull that up?
Going to entail, it's going to be like 50-50 type scoring system. I don't think they're going to do it out of 50 points and tier the total points. They're just going to do it like point per placement. So if you take a first and a first, you get 2 points, and you're going to end up getting first place points from that. If you take a 5th and a 5th and you earn 10 points cumulatively, whatever the 10 points is on the leaderboard, you'll get that many points out of 100. So I probably didn't explain it great, but that's the point system they're using.
Do you want me to give a crack at explaining it? Or do
Go
you
for
feel
it.
like you explained it well? Because I'm just going to say the same thing you said. And that is like the game's typical leaderboard scoring is if you get first place, you get 100 points. Did you say that? If you get second place, you get 96 points. If you get third place, you get 92 points. If you get fourth place, you get 88 points, etc. So what they're going to do is they're going to take both of these events, the mile run and then the field sprint with the bag. And then, like JR said, if you get first place on each, you get 1 point for one and 1 point for the other. And that's second. So
it's 2 points.
Right.
And 2 points would be the lowest. So it's like lowest score is the best score.
First place.
And
so that would be
correlate
100 points.
That would get you 100. Yeah.
And so it's just lots of math on that one. My mama didn't teach me that too much.
Shout out to Josh and CrossFit Momentous. If you're in Austell, Georgia, or near there, head over to Momentous. Best affiliate in Georgia.
Yep, sick affiliate. Shout out to our sponsor. Shout out to Justin O'Shell, Strong Home Mortgage. If you guys are looking for a house in any state in the United States, if you're a veteran, they're veteran owned. They specialize in working with veterans. They do all sorts of cool stuff. If you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking for a good mortgage, a great rate, despite everything going on, hit these guys up. I'm sure they can give you the best rate. Everybody copies their rates.
Yeah, and you know what my favorite part of today so far has been?
Huh.
Watching the 2 events with Sarah Cox from CA Peptides.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, she's the best. I know you guys know all about her. She's a huge supporter of Sevon's podcast, supporter of Hiller's show. You know, she's a legend for a reason. She's super, super cool and generous, and she's here. So if you walk around and you see any BPC 157 shirts, make sure to ask her if she is Sarah, because I think she loves that.
And also, if you walk around and you see anybody that looks like they might need BPC 157 or even TRT, let them know, hey, Sarah's here. She's got you. She's got a backpack full of drugs to shoot up into that arm, to give you those freaking obliques, those serratus, those biceps, you know, everything Hiller has, including his emotional outbursts. We got you here.
Yeah. Another shout out, Brooks Manley Marketing. If you're someone whose website needs a facelift, if you need some search engine optimization, also known as SEO type assistance, hit him up. He's great. Yeah, he's running a special right now. You get a discount. You know, you're listening to Shut Up and Scribble. Make sure you hit him up. He works wonders on anything website or optimizing your search results for your business.
We're just getting our antioxidants in, you know, some blueberries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
Taylor
guys
is
saw,
really inflamed right now.
If you guys saw earlier, Taylor actually took a handful of blueberries, picked out the ones he didn't want, and put them back in the box.
Yeah.
So, guys, in case you haven't noticed, Bryson's the biggest piece of shit ever. Okay.
All right, so let's actually talk about the event. So at the 0 on
No,
the
we
clock.
haven't even talked about the men, dude.
Okay, let's talk about the
Holy
one we
shit.
just watched. Sorry.
Come on,
Sorry.
go back. That was crazy.
All right, we're jumping around.
What?
Let's go back to the women. Let's go back to the women and look at the performances that were not so great. Those will probably be people that are lower on the leaderboard. We have 2 more 100-point events before a cut. So the first cut is going to be cutting 10 as far as we know.
Guzan needed that big time. Danielle Brandon also needed that big time.
Yeah, really good bounce back for her.
Claudia Gluck, another top 12 finish for her, I'll say.
Yeah. So if we
11th
keep
and
going
7th.
down, we need to look at 20 and below.
Ariel Lowen, 24th, not great on that one. 20th, not great on the first event.
Yeah. So
Dome it.
So Alexis Raptis gets a 19th. I mean, she's going to be clear of the cut if they're just cutting to 30 after Chad.
Yep.
She's in 20th right now. Danny and Brooke in 24th and 25th respectively. I know for a fact that I saw Brooke get at least 2 no reps on burpees.
Oof.
I don't know if it was for chest or if it was for 2-foot takeoff. I imagine Brooke Wells. I imagine it was for 2-foot takeoff, but I also wonder if, because I didn't see any other no reps on burpees, if she'll appeal that or if it was just a miscount and it wasn't. But I know that because she finished on the wrong side of the barricade. So if you finish on the side of the barricade closest to the bike you just got off of, you know you've done 12.
Right.
So whether you've done 12 because of a no rep or whether you've done 12 because of a miscount, whatever. But yeah, I mean, still pretty good cut, pretty good cushion, clear of the cut. People on the bubble, if we want to go back up to like people
I just got to
in
address this comment. This
30th, 31st.
This is Carl from Homegrown Relief CBD. What about teams? Angelo has Mayhem ready. They rise to the occasion. We don't give a fuck about teams.
So right on the cut line, you got
Sorry.
Gemma Rader in 29th. You got Emma McQuaid in 30th right now. Karen and Laura didn't take the field in the last workout. Andrea Pinheiro and Chloe Gavin David in 34th.
I don't think that's how you pronounce it, bro. She's not Hispanic.
Okay.
I think it's actually Chloe Galvin David.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great joke, man.
Okay. So going into this next, I'm sorry. Women are done. We want to talk about the women for this next workout or go to the men and then come back?
Let's go to the men.
I think talk about the men.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Could you imagine being at the venue?
Wow.
You're watching 3 workouts. Check this out. 3 workouts, each of them arranging in from first seed of women to last seed of men, 4 to 2 hours. You multiply that by 3 just for the individuals. And then you're telling me you also are going to stay on site and watch fucking teams? Kick rocks. Anyone in the comments, you're like, what teams? No, dude, you're at home. That's fine. Watch the teams. You got nothing better to do. We got to be on the live stream talking to you guys. Can't do that if we're watching teams. Definitely still doing cuts, Mariah. Why is the screen black? Uh-oh. Yeah, Kate. Sorry. I think you're
Okay,
looking
if you
at...
actually turn your monitor on, it'll start working.
Yeah, turn your fucking TV on. All
Dude,
right.
the youngsters.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, well, especially
crazy.
James and Dallin. Like, first place, James Sprague, 255, nothing outside of 7th. Dallin Pepper started with a 15th, then gets a 3rd and a 2nd. Jason
Wow,
Hopper,
James.
2nd and a 1st, back-to-back, 19th to start. So, yeah, your current top 5, James, Dallin, Jason, Roman,
That's
and Brent.
crazy.
Yella took a 17th there. How surprised were you to see that?
Not that surprised.
Because of the burpees or because you don't think he's...
Burpees.
Okay.
Pat climbing.
Yeah.
Dude, Uncle Pat still got it. Gets a 3rd from, what, Heat 2?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
then some earlier
Justin,
times too were solid. Like
I'm shocked by Justin's 26th place.
Brandon Luckett, Alexander Caron, like some of them put up some really good times from earlier heats too.
Yeah, I said earlier to JR, I'm surprised Justin wasn't even really close to sub 3.
Who else?
Oh,
we
apparently
got?
we're Stephen Tackett. This is the coach of who? Stephen Tackett?
Chris Ibarra.
Chris Ibarra. Yeah. Stephen Tackett says 1 cut to 30 at the end of Saturday.
Oh, end of Saturday. Okay,
Wow.
so they're not cutting after Chad. That's really good information to know. And I think this is good information because Steven's probably been at briefings and stuff like that.
I don't think they've decided what to do for tomorrow morning yet.
You think the workout's going to change? Possibly.
I don't think they're going to do Chad.
Really?
I think they're going to
Do you think they're going to do something commemorative, or you think or you think they're just going to change it from a programming standpoint because
they're definitely trying? They need to change it from a programming perspective because the importance of doing Chad versus testing what events 2 and 3 tested
mixed modal stuff? Yeah,
is doing Chad is way less important because you had event 1.
Yeah, I think just in general.
And you have the run.
If there's another single modality workout coming, whether it's all gymnastics, whether it's something else.
Stephen Tackett says they are doing Chad.
Okay. Well, that's good to know too. But will those movements be inserted somewhere? Going below parallel. Haven't done it yet. We were supposed to do 45 squat snatch last night. They did like the sandbag get over movement. I mean, you don't really categorize that. It is a hinge, but it's kind of an odd movement. Definitely, we're going to see some squatting when we get the clean ladder, but for a lot of people, it's going to be power for a while. So there's not been a mandated squat workout in the first 5 events that they do. Then the first one will be in the 6th event that they do, which will be the squat, which will be the clean ladder.
They've got to change the entire programming of the rest of Saturday and Sunday then to account for those 2 missing events.
I don't know that they're going to be able to. I don't know that they're going to be able to do that though.
I think they should, but I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I for sure think they can.
They can.
Do you think they can just take those time windows and just change movements?
They absolutely
because
can.
they probably already have
They
all.
100% can.
You've got
I just don't
6
think they
demo
will.
athletes here. Make them do their fucking job.
Think about the broadcast though. Think about the graphics they've already made. Think about how long that stuff might take. I don't know.
Oh, that
but
shit
I'm just
doesn't
saying.
take long at all. You know Will Brandstetter?
Yeah,
But
it's
also-
a good point.
Are the graphics more important than the test?
No.
Like what if they just had to bring Dave on and say, yeah, we don't have graphics, or he doesn't even have to address not having graphics. He could just come onto the floor and be like, this is the workout.
Right. I mean, I agree. If you're crowning the fittest on earth and you think that the test needs to be adjusted based on the well-roundedness, I mean, that's a classic couplet and it's still it's not maybe a classic triplet, but it's still a WWW triplet. Things probably need to be moved around a little bit.
Dude, this dude has got a rock hard fucking erection for me. It's weird. Jay Sheets, 24.
Did you send him a picture of yours?
Yeah, and I was honestly expecting it to gross him out, but now he just wants me to oil it up so that he can come over here and put it in his butt.
I wonder if we're
Weird.
gonna get an event announcement, like not live, like on site at Farrington, because that's gonna be a late night tonight. But I wonder if we're just gonna know one of the workouts for Saturday or two of the workouts for Saturday, either between now and the start, which is like what we still have an hour and a half,
Yeah.
or if they're gonna release something late tonight. Or if Dave, maybe on his day in review, is going to release a workout that they're going to do on Saturday. Because we know two. So we know Chad and the clean ladder, but we don't know what that night event is. So I don't know. Are they just going to wait and announce it tomorrow?
Interesting.
Want me to pull up the workout again?
Yep. So the workout's going to be a 1 mile run for time, assuming this is on the track.
Yep.
Athletes are going to have different starting positions because it's around a track. If they're going to go out, you're going to see the athletes stagger start just like if they would at a track meet. So that'll be interesting. It might be hard to track them that way. You know what I mean?
Well, once they start, though,
They all
won't
have the same line.
won't they just
Yeah.
won't they just funnel in together into a pack just like they do at the Olympics?
I didn't think that.
It'll
Okay.
work the same way.
Right.
I'm assuming. It would be dumb if it didn't.
Right.
Yeah. It should be easy to watch, and you would think something like that.
I think this is going to be as exciting as the one we just watched.
Right.
That
Yeah,
race
both
and that
parts,
last
I think.
Both
400.
parts.
Yeah.
Oof.
And the recoverability between those two is going to be huge. I mean, make no mistake, like they were just in a sauna of lactate a second ago. Like it's going to be, the recovery is huge all day today.
I mean,
Right.
and that one we just watched was 3 rounds for time, and you saw the people who could punch it at the end really make a big difference. This is a mile run's basically 4 rounds for time, 4 rounds of a 400 meter, and the people who blow up in that last 400.
A mile run's basically 1 mile for time after.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I know what he's saying though.
basically
No,
it
I know
is,
what he's
bro.
saying though. There's a lot of opportunity with each lap to come out a little hotter than you should.
Yep.
And speeding up because you know you can, not slowing down because you have to is huge.
I don't think there's going to be an adjustment of pace from round 3 to 4 to increase, though. I think it's everyone's going to start.
I think
aggressive.
people blow up in 4. though.
Right. I think, but I think what you're going to see is the people who win start aggressive and hold.
Yeah.
And that's a mile run.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to pick your pace up on the 4th lap. You should be holding on for dear life and not falling off.
Yeah. So almost like when I said that people would
No,
blow up in
no.
round 4, and that's when they lose.
Talking about the guys first, with Jeff not there, do you think this is Ricky's to lose? Because I do. I think Ricky is I think Ricky is the pick on the mile run. On the mile run.
Yeah. Why do we not think Yella anymore?
Because
Because
the deadlifts
you just-
obliterated him.
Yeah.
I don't think.
For me, I think that it's a little bit more so
The distance.
a different time domain.
Yeah.
I think he is such, dude. I don't think that. Think about marathon runners. They run fucking marathon races at a 5:30 pace. Like they run insane paces for marathons. So it doesn't matter. Like, and you wouldn't look at one of those athletes and be like, oh, they beat Ricky in a mile.
So you just think the best 5K runner is also the best mile runner?
I think in the CrossFit field, yes. I think in this field, yes.
Well, that brings up a good point that Ricky wasn't there when they ran the 5K.
Well,
True.
Yella
So-
beat him. Yella beat him handedly on event 1. And I think he held back on the run. I think he held back on the run.
Yeah,
So I think if Jeff were here,
I think
if Jeff were here, maybe Jeff wins.
Yeah.
This workout, but I think it's Yella's to lose.
I would have picked Jeff.
Oh yeah, I think everyone would have picked Jeff if he was in the field. I would have picked Jeff. But yeah, I mean, I still think like this is going to be another one, like for a guy like Dallin. Like, hey, like how good has your running gotten? Because this is a different kind of run.
100%.
Someone like him, I think, does really well in the second part because I just think he's one of those guys, kind of like Pat, that really just like buffers acid well, as big as his legs are. He's Dallin.
Yeah.
So I wonder how much, like, I think Yella crushes the second part of this. And what will be really interesting to see is how many points is first place? So like, let's just say, like, is there going to be someone that accumulates 5 points or less between the two?
Right.
Or is it going to be like, no, the best anyone does is like a
20.
5th and an 11th?
Yeah.
Or like you know what I mean? It's going to be like a crazy flip, and you're going to see a lot of people that don't do well on both.
That would be a good Heat 1 prop. Is what is the winning points?
Winning total of points. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. James still, I mean, there's some good runners in the field. And again, like being able to recover basically 1-to-1. And for some of these guys, a little more than 1-to-1. If they run between a 5 and a 6 minute mile, they get over 6 minutes to recover. Is that enough time? Is that just enough time for their legs to start getting really heavy? Like, who knows?
Heat gonna play a factor. I think it's long enough to play a factor for athletes who aren't acclimated. So. And I'm not talking about just the mile, but the totality of the workout.
Trying to recover
recovering from the mile, going into the field sprint without a doubt.
Dude, it rained a little bit earlier though, and it
did. It's a lot cooler.
It's not crazy.
It's so much cooler today. So that's a good point. I think yesterday it was like 8 o'clock and still like 102, but yeah. Today it's way cooler. I mean, I was walking outside and I felt the breeze. I was like, God, it's kind of like 80.
Right.
Felt good.
Yeah. So at the 12-minute mark, basically they'll have some pylons and they'll have a bag. They'll sprint 50 yards to a bag. They'll carry it back 50 yards. Then they'll sprint 75 to a bag. They'll carry that back 75. Then they'll sprint the full length of the football field and sprint the bag back.
I don't think anyone's close to sub 5.
On the mile?
Yeah. That's what someone's asking.
What? You don't think anyone goes sub 5?
No.
Dude. Well, that's a good point. Could you imagine going sub 5 after the 2 events today?
No.
I bet when he had
the games athletes.
So I bet he had the games athlete, the demo athletes do both versions. Remember, this was originally announced as the carry first, and I bet they did both versions. I also bet that wasn't the first thing they did that day, and Dave made sure they were a little bit beat up so that he could get kind of a better idea of what these guys and girls are going to be able to put up time wise. So I wonder how many people go sub 5:15 or go sub 5:30, or
I think an athlete goes sub 5. I think y'all are fucking cracked.
How many?
I think 2 athletes go sub 5.
I hope so.
How many females? How many females go sub 5?
I think Yella's 4:56 and Ricky's 4:58.
I would love that.
Females go sub 5? None.
What's the best female time?
Fuck. Tia is the best female time. I think it's 5:09.
Okay.
I say 5.
So I got 4:56, 4:58, 5:09. These guys, listen, everyone, and remember this, dude.
So on the schedule,
Bryson,
they have 2 heats at 20. I just want to say that too. On the schedule, they had 2 heats.
This is Friday Night Lights. In the fucking first ESPN, time right? On ESPN at the fucking CrossFit Games. These guys are going to fucking die. The adrenaline they're going to feel is insane. 100% 2 guys go sub 5.
I hope so.
I don't think Emily Rolfe runs a sub 5.
I think
she's gonna do really well.
She's not gonna beat Tia though.
No.
You think she'll beat Tia? Dude, did you see Tia running yesterday and passing Brent? She looked so good. She's such a good runner.
Yeah.
Her running mechanics are insane.
I don't think Tia is sub 5:10 though.
Oh, I think she's 5:09. We'll see. Want to make a wager?
Sure.
All right, go Ruckbag.
Those things are nice, apparently.
Crazy.
Let's go. James Carr, 6 to 9 athletes will go sub 5.
Yeah, Jamie Latimer, 0 women sub 5, maybe 5:20. That's what I said earlier.
I think
I'll say 5:15.
I like that. Yeah, this is one I do think Brooke does well on. Let's see who else. Haley obviously is going to smash.
Oh, Tia will beat me. Oh, got me, pussy.
Okay. You want to pull up the women's leaderboard, and we'll think about who's like. I saw someone in the comments say that Gracie did amazingly on this last workout, but she's not going to have a good workout on this one coming up.
No, she won't. I don't think she will.
Who do we think is not going to do well at the run?
Danny Spiegel.
So Matthew's in the comments. He's talking about Brandon Luckett. He won't do good on this event.
I always wonder too, and I don't know how his back is doing, but anyone that has a known low back, just weird off and on thing.
Yeah.
Running usually flares that up
Yep.
just as much as other things.
Yeah,
do.
it's the impact, but also his running mechanics aren't great. Watching him at semifinals, Magnus, I would say it's about the size of 2 pats of butter or like your thumb.
It's like those mini pickles.
Charcuterie board pickles.
Yeah.
Nice.
But juxtaposed to that, I think Danielle does do really well in this.
Brandon,
Yeah,
for sure. I think she does really well in this, and she is someone that like in the past has had some back issues she's dealing with. I wonder how Bethany Flores does on it.
I don't know.
I will
that
say
Danielle's
Abby
going
Domit posted a video of her running on a track, and it looked very strange.
Strange.
Like
bad, like a robot.
yeah,
Some athletes have this big brickish, like if you ever
It was
seen him
like-
run in the Incredibles, the dad, he's like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah.
It's like whoa.
hers
dude.
wasn't like that. It was like her elbows couldn't go past behind her torso. It was running like this.
All right, so a
Ah.
lot of people in the comments right now, maybe you've just joined us, are wondering how the scoring is going to work. We've tried to explain this a few different ways.
That's a good comment.
It's not a 50-50. It's all worth 100 points. But basically what they're doing is they're taking the run as its own score, and they're taking the carry sprint as its own score. It's point per placement. So if you take a 5th, you get 5 points. And if you take a 10th, you get 10 points. That gives you 15 points. And at the end, wherever 15 points ends up on a lowest to highest scale, that's the total amount of points you earn out of 100. That's how they're scoring it.
David Masella. I don't know. How do you think you pronounce that?
Makala.
I mean, if it's David, if it's
David Makaya.
if it's David, it's a ya. But if it's David, it's probably Masella or Makella.
David Makaya. I think that's it.
All right, could be.
Paella. That's what I'm thinking. All right. So I'm still super interested to see what Danny's mile is and if she even tries to get a good time. I agree. Every time she talks about running at the CrossFit Games, she's like,
Dude,
it's dumb. We shouldn't run.
she's gonna try, dude.
You think she's gonna
Yeah,
try?
she's gonna
Yes.
try, and she's gonna PR at 9:01,
She's-
and
she's
everyone's
gonna-
gonna
No,
start
she's
clapping.
not going to try on the mile. She's going to try on the field carry, dude. She's going to biff the mile. She's
I
going to
don't-
fucking walk it so
I
she
don't
can
think so.
crush everyone on the field carry. 100%, dude.
Has anyone checked on Hiller? He's doing great.
Yep.
This is probably the best comment so far.
Magnus. Okay, why don't you suck his cock, Magnus? Hey, there was a guy standing on the
Yeah, I'll
corner that
send you the
Bryson
address.
PC, go back up.
Bryson almost
This?
cheated on Magnus with that guy on the corner
Yeah.
earlier.
Patrick Clark says Tia, Rolf, Haley, DB, Brooke, Stanley, Ariel, Gabby, Seher are your runners in the field. So that is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's giving you 9 good runners.
Oh, he had to put Sahara in there.
She might be a good runner.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make a new Spiegel shirt. Girls who walk the mile.
Good joke.
Oh my god, I fucking hate your guts, bro.
There was just a question. Do you think people might hold back on the mile knowing they have 2 events? This is something we kind of went back and forth on.
Yeah.
34.
If this was 2 100-point events, like shuttle to overhead, like the shuttle version and then the
Ooh.
overhead version, that people would just go for it and take a 1st and a 35th because it balances out to more points than like 2 16ths or whatever. But
I think people go for the mile. I don't think you can try to game it. I think,
okay.
especially with an event like a 1 mile run for time, you game it. That's 3 to 4 seconds on each lap. And then you lose 12, 15 seconds on a mile. That's going to be so much.
Do you think it's relative though? Do you think because of the length of that versus the length of a 2 to 3 minute workout, it's about the same? So like if you lose 12 seconds, but then on the other one you lose 2 to 3, is it still the same difference?
Yeah, I mean, I get that point.
Don't sleep on Maddie Sturt. Freaky good runner. That's also true.
I've been doing this. I've been running on 3 legs my entire life. So I'm pretty good at it.
What? You have like a prosthesis labia? Is that what you meant, bro?
Yeah.
You got a stilt in there, dude.
That's a pretty good question. That's a really good point.
Yeah, dude.
And they said like, hey, it's a mile for time. This is the CrossFit Games. Yeah, they want it's pretty cool to do this on ESPN for sure.
What's a good question? What do you want to
Do any more athletes drop before tonight or before the end of the weekend? So we saw at least one before this last one, Emma Tall, and she had a really, really good finish on the rope climb workout, and she didn't do this last event.
Yeah.
So
I'm tired of everyone saying that you're the only adult in the room, dude. Yeah, you're like 60.
This
that's
is
true. I'm almost
very
40.
relevant to the conversation that we're on, like per usual with Rambler.
Micro dose on caffeine pills. What does that mean? Why would you micro?
So PC just said, Sam
wow.
Cornway just
and
dropped out.
Patrick, is that because before the weekend he was so sick?
Right.
Is it because of that?
Yeah.
Gee, yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching Guy in tears on the starting mat for that workout, and especially in that workout, it's just so hard to
right. Yeah. Yeah. And actually Peter brought this to my attention. I said on the show before this last workout, I know that people are going out there and
some people are
they feel differently, and some people are being really affected by it, and they're not able to put it to the side. Some people are not. But I made that comment about seeing a lot of the guys like within the Mayhem camp kind of being down there at the bottom. And Peter brought me to the side and he was like, well, that's a good point. But, I don't know that guys like Austin and Jack even crossed paths.
Right.
Because Lazar was not like their training. He was not a part of that before. But tangentially, being around guys like Guy and being around guys like Sam, they're probably really close to them, and just seeing how it's affecting them, I'm sure is also affecting their mindset too. So
there's a lot of truth to that. I can be a bitter cunt.
He'll be out there one day.
Yeah, 35 to 39.
Whatever. Taylor says he's one of those guys that when I say like, dude, I didn't compete at the games, I competed at Masters. Taylor's like, yeah, he's right. Like he's one of the he reiterates that with me, which I like. So
I don't say that to you.
He's never going to compete Masters. No, he never says that to me. I'm just joking.
That's fucked up, dude. You're down on yourself, and I lift you up. We fucking rising tides, dude. We rise by lifting others, bro.
Real question: would Sydney win this if she was competing? I mean, what did she run? The 800, or the 400?
Before I've heard 800 before.
So,
should stand up all the way on box step ups.
Yeah, how crazy is it that an athlete that didn't even qualify for semifinals is on the demo team?
Ridiculous.
Never. I want.
It's probably because she's blonde.
I want Sydney. I want you to come to Crucible. Paige, I want you to come to Crucible. I don't care what these guys say. 800 and 4x4 relay at Missouri. So, yeah, I would say she would be a great pick to win this workout if she was competing. That clip they showed of like testing being done, the first time that the event was announced and we thought it was Carrie into mile, I think she came across a little behind Tudor at like 5:37, and I wonder if that was after the carry.
Hey,
and if so, that's pretty fast.
I think Jason wins the field sprint.
I think Jason wins. I like that.
Yeah, 100%, dude. He was a slot receiver.
Yeah,
he sucked, but he was still a slot receiver.
This is something too really, really small for people to look for. For people to, I just register what you said. For people to look for, who runs to the bag like with a ton of urgency and like runs hard until they get 5 feet away and then break down and pick it up, or who runs hard halfway and then throttles back the rest of the halfway so that when they get to the bag they're almost stopped. Like that probably is going to play a role when you get to the 100.
Dude, having to stop that hard, that close to the bag after a max effort mile is brutal.
Like who's just going to be like, hey, you're 10 yards away, start throttling back and like getting your breathing in line before you go. I would love to, obviously, I would love to see Jason crush it. I think he's going to do really well at the mile. But the carry is one that I don't think you can make that call because it's only 100 pounds. If it was a 200-pound bag, I would feel a lot better saying guys like Yella, saying guys like Pat, saying guys with the longer arms, with just a longer stride. Like it would be a lot easier to predict.
Okay, this explains a lot. PC, how are you doing? Nice show this morning. T-Bird is a viewer of the Be Friendly Fitness podcast.
Do you think? I don't know if you can trust.
We have a blanket here.
I don't know if you can trust anyone that doesn't put a Y in his name.
Who?
Whoever said.
Oh yeah.
He was a liability. Hopper went. Oh God.
Yes, Trish. It's
Trish
only on ESPN.
Trish
Unless
only
you
on
want to show up, you old freaking codger. Is Trish even real? Odds.
What do you mean real?
I want to know.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it Trish is that woman in the profile picture?
Well, I want to know if that is the original Trish.
It's not 100%.
Yeah,
not.
not
So,
the
but
original
did the real
Trish
Trish just fucking? I think the real Trish probably lived in Australia, didn't get the COVID shot, and she's still in an internment camp.
Good theory.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Or she was abducted by aliens.
All right. We are going to be heading that direction pretty soon, right? We're at 36.
Real quick, guys. Crash Crucible Online Qualifier, August 15th through 18th. Top left corner of the screen. Scan the QR code if you want to compete. If you want to compete against Bryson in the qualifier, if you want to compete against Colton and Chris Ibarra, and what other games athletes? Is Jack Rosema going to be there?
Jack's undecided yet. I think it's probably going to depend on how he feels after this,
Okay.
which I completely understand.
Who else?
James Sprague says he's coming back.
Wow, James.
I know he's getting married though after the games. So shortly after the games. So I trust that he's going to come if he is able. But yeah, Colton's definitely coming. Taylor will be in the field. Chris will be in the field. There's a lot of really, really, really good females coming too. Fee is coming.
Austin Hatfield, the top 10 games athlete. Okay, Patrick, relax.
We'll see about Austin. He's actually in the same camp as Jack, so I'm not sure if he'll be there or not.
If you placed higher than me in quarterfinals this past year, then
he'll
maybe
suck
don't
your
sign up.
dick.
Hey, and his name is Ibarra, 100% Ibarra.
Yeah, it's not Ibarra. It's Jeff. You're an idiot, dude. Get out of here. All right, the other thing, Sentinel Training. 14-day free trial. Scan the QR code in the upper right-hand corner. We just added Masters prescriptions, meaning we have the best competitive track. It's everything you need, nothing you don't. The best hour class essential track. It's essentially a 1-hour CrossFit class. And what we've done is we have the most extensive notes, basically intent, stimulus, scaling, modifications, equipment substitutes, all of that. And at the bottom, we have a breakdown of age groups that give you a prescribed loading, movement variation, volume adjustment for your age group and what you would expect to see as kind of the benchmark loads and reps that you get in the open, age group online qualifier, Masters games. So it's the dopest shit. It's the dopest dope you can smoke. And if you go and download the app, Fitter app, and sign up for the free trial during the games, your first month will be 50% off. You're just going to have to message Bryson. You'll send him a dick pic. He'll know that you want that code, and you'll get a $10 free month.
Yep,
$10 first month.
Or brown Cheerio pick, either one.
What's a brown Cheerio, bro?
All right.
And with that, we leave you.
You got to learn how to end the stream. Love you guys.